R9 280 for 130 bucks. I'm gonna offer him 120. If he doesn't take it, I'm still gonna do 130. Can you do 120 bucks? Awesome. When do you want me to come pick it up? Yeah, but Port Moody's like a city. Like I need to know where. Okay, so I got a R9 280 for 130 bucks. I really want to get that 290, but I don't think the price per performance is worth it when the 290 would be over $100, or no, basically exactly $100 more. I don't know. There's some funny math there because you have to calculate in the whole rest of the system as well. But I think a 280 is going to be good, and I think I need to move on to other things. So I'll go with that.
If I'm learning anything from this, is that people like to really overprice their old PC hardware. Like people like to like, oh my 6-year-old gaming PC is worth $800. It was worth $1,200 5 years ago. Like, no dude, it's worth like $300. Get over yourself.
Maybe in the used market in general is just because the turnover is so low.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I mean, I'm just seeing tons of junk here. And every once in a while I see something cool. Like, yeah, okay, so this is a GeForce 7900 for $50. I mean, it's got S-video on it. It's not going to be worth $50. I don't care what you say.
Wow, a lot of this stuff is pretty brutal. Is that a 9600 for 10 bucks though? That's not bad. Let's save that in the numbers sheet. The best thing to do, this is going to be a disadvantage for Austin in this whole competition because he hasn't done this before. But the best thing to do is right in the first couple hours, put out as many feelers as possible.
Yeah, you're right, this does take a long time. I also totally want to find like a pawn shop or something.
Car.
Oh, dude, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. Yeah, like the car just like runs out.
There's a Q9650 CPU. I'm still potentially interested in that if I can get it for the right price. I think we're gonna need a quad core to win. That Cinebench is gonna make a big difference. I wonder how Austin's doing at this point. Like, new city, like he doesn't even know where any of these sub-regions are. Like, he's gonna be like, oh, Yaletown, that's probably pretty close.
Okay, I think we might have found something. Here are a pair of 7950 graphics cards for $150, and that's both of them. So basically, one of them, actually they were both used for Bitcoin mining, but I don't really care. As long as it works for long enough where I can actually like benchmark, that could work. $150, where is this? 13th Avenue. Is that Burnaby? Is that anywhere near? Burnaby Newest? Do you have any idea where that is?
Scrapyard Wars will be right back after these messages. This episode of Scrapyard Wars is brought to you by Deww, makers of the precision-cut vinyl skins that you'll see on the phones and notebooks of our contestants. They offer a wide variety of styles and colors and support for the coolest devices, including the PlayStation 4, Galaxy Note 5, and iPhone 6s. Protect the body of your devices and make them look great at dbrand.com/scrapyardwars.
Trying to work on system. So what I'm trying to find now, I have a graphics card. I'm probably not going to look for a case. Power supply, I'm probably going to have to get on its own. So what I'm looking for right now is motherboard, processor, memory, essentially. And a hard drive, I guess. But I might try to sneak an SSD in there if I can. I just don't know if it'll be worth it. Because most of our benchmarks are CPU or GPU.
$60 for an SSD, that could be all right, maybe.
I think you might be able to get a new SSD for around that price.
It probably wouldn't be that, it's probably not that much cheaper, but we also maybe try to get that guy down a little bit.
So this guy wants 60 bucks for a 120 gig SSD. That is so not happening. $60 firm price. You can buy brand new 240 gigs for $98. So I'll see if I can get him to be a little bit more realistic.
No, Luke almost lost his money.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you were interested in selling parts of it at all? Yeah, it's a pretty good point. I was only interested in the motherboard, processor, RAM, and potentially power supply. I call him up, and I'm like, are you interested in selling just the parts? And he's like, oh yeah, totally. That was my first idea when I was going to put it on Craigslist, was I was just going to part it out. And he ends the phone call like, well, I'm okay with selling the parts if you buy all of them. So far I've got a graphics card that I'm picking up at 3 something. That was a R9 280 for 120 bucks. I don't know if that's like necessarily the best deal I could get, but I wanted to move on to system because I did notice that a lot of my target processors, they're kind of scarce right now. I can't find very many of them. So I had a whole bunch of graphics card options. I was like, okay, I just want to get that out of the way. I should have maybe done that later. but whatever. I'm really trying to find my platform right now and having a little bit of trouble with it.
Dude, I think this might be it. $150 for 279.50s? That's gonna kill it. All right, this is we totally need to go this way. So now let's try to find some other parts in the start call. That's totally where to go. That's it. Those are our cards right there.
So for a lot of the components, I'm just going to be kind of browsing what's out there and buying whatever. But for the graphics card, I think I have to shop a little bit smarter. So I'm going to be using Anantech's bench repository in order to compare graphics cards across the generations. And then from looking at it briefly, I'm feeling pretty good about the approach of going with a Tahiti-based card. So either a 280 or 280X or a 7950 or 7970. I think that's where we're going to get the best bang for our buck. So I'm going to lowball this 280X and kind of go from there.
Okay, so this is how I write a Craigslist email. How's it going? Saw you listing for the pair of 7950s. I plan on building a gaming PC and was wondering if you've made sure they can game. I don't plan on mining, but want to make sure both cards are fully working. Thanks, because I've got to be polite. I'm in Canada. So, fire that off, and hopefully we hear back.
Okay, I'm just being like a little bitch. Hi, I'm contacting you about the 280X for sale. Are you firm on the price? I don't think I can spend that much. Whenever someone contacts you like that, whenever they open with that, they're a loser. Well, not like a loser, but like getting a better price makes you a winner, yo. Being a little bitch. Hey, here's a good deal on an SSD. Let's see if this guy has a phone number. 40 bucks. Call. All right, I'm gonna offer 30 for a 120 gig. If I can get it, I'm feeling really good about my storage drive. Who uses a home phone number? I can't even text that. So I'm gonna just, oh man, I'm gonna play every game in the book. SSD on Craigslist. I can come get it today if you can do $30. Do you have anything else for sale? I'm trying to build a budget gaming PC for a friend of mine who's moving away. Who could say no to someone trying to buy a present? Maybe next time it'll be like my sick sister or something. She broke her arm and she can't go out much, so we're getting her a gaming computer. Look, you might be judging me here, but I have a competition to win, so yeah. I did say no holds barred. This is the guy with the lots of older computer stuff. He says, come take a look. Should we just go check it out? Okay, I've come across an interesting discovery. There's a 7950 GX2. That's a dual GPU card. The guy's asking 25 bucks. If I can get that for like $10 or something, I could be in really good shape. No, that's a DirectX 9 part. Okay. I knew when we were choosing the benchmarks that we should have gone with something older than Far Cry 4. But it looks like you have to run it on DX10 or DX11 hardware.
So right now I've switched from buying that R9 280 to an R9 290. I haven't told the 280 guy yet because the 290 guy seems a little bit flaky, so I'm gonna wait until I get an actual confirm from him.
So the next problem we have is just having to power the two 7950s. So I started looking around. There are not a lot of power supplies. We might be able to find something used, but just out of curiosity, I looked on NCIX. It's gonna be like $97 to get like a Corsair CX750. We might end up having to buy some new stuff because the options on Craigslist are not as solid as I was hoping. And plus, a lot of these people think that stuff is worth way more than it actually is.
So we're super stressed on time right now, so much so that we're having delicious sushi because, we got this. Okay, so I found something decent here. So this guy has an older computer, but he's willing to part it out. So you get a Cooler Master case with a DV writer for 20 bucks, and there's a power supply, a 500 watt power supply for 30 bucks. That can work, but I don't think the 7950 is playing enough to power them.
What if we get 2 really cheap power supplies?
Oh, and like take one in the top or something?
Yeah.
Dude, that would be so cool! So like, you basically just like have like one 500 watt power supply in the system and just like keep another